Welcome to Small Talk. My name is David Shaw. The New Testament was almost exclusively written in Greek. And when I was at theological college and had to learn Greek, I thought, oh, this is brilliant. Because if I learn Greek, if I ever go to Greece on holiday, it'd be really, really useful. And I was gutted when I discovered that New Testament Greek is quite different from contemporary Greek. Poor me. One thing I learnt while I was studying Greek is that the word that we in English translate as time, there are at least two words in Greek. There's the word chronos, from which we get the word chronometer, we now have watch, which is that sort of continual period of time. And then there is the second word, kairos, which is a specific moment, a critical moment, a moment when things can change and do change. So in South Africa, in the late 1980s and early 1990s, churches were talking about it being a kairos moment, a time when things could and felt as if they were going to change. And as a consequence, there we saw Nelson Mandela released and free elections, and we saw those extraordinary streams of people queuing to vote, and then the election of Nelson Mandela as the president. And many of us saw in that kairos moment the work and the hand of God. I believe we're at a kairos moment in relation to the global climate crisis. This is a significant moment in time when things can change. When things can change in such a way so as to restore nature, to bring justice to people who are suffering from climate crisis at this very moment. Later this year, in November, there will be the COP26 conference in Glasgow. And that will be an opportunity when the world will meet, the world will talk, and if it chooses, please God, will take actions to deal with this climate crisis. This is a kairos moment. Now, in the kairos moment in South Africa, God just didn't turn up at the late 1980s, early 1990s. God had been at work in small ways, building for that time, building for the kairos moment. And I believe God has been and is at work among us for this kairos moment in terms of the global climate crisis. And so where will we join in with what God is doing in this surge towards COP26 in November? One of the ways that I believe God is at work is through young Christians. And there is a group called Young Christians Climate Network who have organised a walk from Cornwall, where the G7 summit was, through to where COP26 will meet in Glasgow. And that group of young people will be calling in at Reading at the end of July. If you live somewhere else and you're watching this small talk, find where they're going to be near you. And it may be that you want to join in with that walk, as I'm doing. It may be that you want to pray for that event. It may be that when they're in a place of residency, and Reading is a place of residency, you want to go to some of the events so that we can raise the profile of what God is saying to God's people and to this world about the global climate crisis. I wonder, looking back at the kairos moment in South Africa, if people have asked themselves, when God was active, what were you doing? I wonder if, looking back, we will see this as a kairos moment that God's people have grasped with both hands, so that together we can work towards leaving a legacy of a great, great creation, the one that God has given to us. I wonder,